Just the video games. Hey, Boy, that's the He does. It's not that big of a deal. You know, like that headphone adapter, since the iPhone does have headphones, you like plug it into the bottom. I think I left it there, but it's not a big deal. I can just get another one, okay? say with so many opinions for breakfast?
He said he didn't want to begin with. Has always been a misnomer anyway.
I mean, I just probably eat a little bit. It's fine. I don't have to eat. I have food at the house, right?
It's not written anywhere in the Constitution or in any founding legal document. It is a phrase used by Thomas Jefferson in a letter to a Baptist church where he gives his opinion in a letter. And his opinion is that we have to be careful about letting the government intrude on the church. And so what I got from that letter that was written by Thomas Jefferson, it's just a letter, it's not a legal document. We got from that letter to the idea that it's unconstitutional for like teachers to have a crucifix in the classroom. It's absurd. It's an insane interpretation of a fabricated legal principle. That's the truth. But also, however you interpret that, separation of church and state and all the rest of it, this event after Philip Rivers is obviously not an imposition on anyone or anything. The players were not forced to participate. This was not a forced baptism. They were being told that they had to be baptized as a condition of being on the team. It was after practice, and those who wanted to participate did. Those who didn't. Lots of kids did. Which actually is not a surprise because football has always been a sport that attracts very that in the mainstream public life. But football players do it all the time, which I think is great. And one of the reasons why I'm a big football fan, also one of the reasons why, not to get too sidetracked, but I think it's unfortunate that so many conservatives in particular have recently decided that football is, we should, it's the whole sport. It's a waste of time and it doesn't matter. I think that's unfortunate because, first of all, sports are part of culture. And culture can't just give up on a whole aspect of culture. And also, again, football is like it actually attracts conservative religious people. That is still the case. So that's part of what we're seeing in the video in this case. It's not hurting anybody else. And especially if you don't believe in Christianity, this is one of the things I don't know. If you don't believe, like, in the power of baptism, then that's all the more reason why you shouldn't care. Because then, from your perspective, this is just they're dunking their heads underwater as a kind of team building exercise. From your perspective, that's all they're doing. Which maybe from your perspective is sort of weird, but it's also totally harmless. Here's the other point. I think maybe the most important point is that I guarantee you right now that if that coach had called the players together and given them a chance to announce their pronouns and profess their sexuality, maybe we'll be given an open for schools to be used as a tool for explicitly promoting their own religion. And you might not call it that, but that's what it is. All right, moving to this, I think it's kind of interesting. This is from studyfind.org. It says when tragic events happen, no matter how far away from us they are, it's hard not to pay attention. Many of us empathize with the people in these situations. Compassion fatigue is a stress response that results in feelings of empathy or indifference towards those who are suffering. own, because the nature of the work often makes it sharing the emotional burden of your patients. But moving to all the compassion fatigue, people are fatigued, it's making it's having the reverse effect of making them more indifferent to it. Compassion feels like the kind of all of this as human beings are not meant to carry around in our heads, in our consciences, this awareness of thousands of things happening thousands of miles away from us. I think it has us totally overwhelmed. It has our priorities all out of balance. And the worst thing is that we're all suffering from this, right? From this, if you want to call it compassion fatigue. And yet we wield it against each other in certain opportune times. And we all understand what this, and we all know that you can't like be emotionally invested in everything. And we all know that. And yet, if something bad happens in the world, and if you don't appear to be immediately devastated by it, if you aren't obsessively focused on it, if you aren't as angry and sad as you are supposed to be, then other people will go, well, why don't you care about this? What about this, huh? Why are you talking about this? Why do you care about this more? Why do you focus on this more? Well, I don't know. Maybe because I'm a human being. Maybe because I can't care deeply about everything happening in the world always. Maybe I'm only emotionally capable of being invested in a very limited number of events at a time. Maybe again because I'm a human like you. You know, there was a massacre, I think, in I can't even remember where it was. In Sudan. Nobody is talking about it. And I'm not talking about it either. From an intellectually, I care intellectually. Difficult to operate that way. I mean, literally can't. The human mind is not capable of that. Neither is yours. Nobody's is. And that's why we all typically prioritize and care the most about yeah, it's one's constantly always and we're like we're surrounded by it all the time. It's one thing for that, but it's another thing again with our natural human impulses. There's some tragedy. You prioritize.
Hey Dad, I love you. You're a nice person.
Let's say in your community, there's a car accident in your community, a child, you will probably, if it's in your community, no, you will feel much more emotionally devastated by that than by a report of a massacre of five.
I'm afraid to weigh myself when I get home because I'm eating all I can. And I keep losing weight, Dad. You don't think I'm anorexia, are you? Because you can see my ribs through my belly. Is that a bad thing? That's 22 you want to be 130 days? I don't think so.